What is up, party people? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have the free-to-play Evil Twin deck. This is going to be a relatively short one because we kind of already went over how to play the deck itself in last week's video, and we went over like the cards that's in the deck in the video before that. So if you kind of want to get an idea how to play the deck and what the deck's supposed to do and such, I recommend watching those videos, which I will leave a link in the description below. But in this video, we're going to be talking about basically the free-to-play additions to the deck and what you can do to kind of, make it work, what you can kind of add and stuff. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. First things first, I want to talk about Fake Failure and Max C. If you're a free-to-play player, no matter what, I'm a free-to-play player as well. I highly recommend you craft at least one Effect Failure, one Maxi, and you can get away with not having a Nibiru, but I recommend having at least one Nibiru. These cards are hand traps and they are very good in basically any deck. I believe you should have at least one made, but it's okay if you don't have it. If you don't want to make it, that's perfectly fine. We can take this out, we can take that out, it's fine. Now, because we're free to play, we need to have as many cards as possible. We need to fill out the deck somehow. So, we have 3 Ki-sikil, 3 leyyme, which is your starters. You're going to have 3 treats as well as 3 frosts. Typically, you only want to be running one treat, but again, this is a budget-friendly deck, so we're kind of, trying to fill out the deck a little bit. The cool thing about this is, even if you only have, say you didn't start with these starters, you didn't have either one of these two, and let's say you had both of these in your hand, you can still use the effect. You can summon treat, you can summon her out, and then you'll be able to sort of summon Ki-sikil frost from your hand if you have both of them in hand. So it's not like it's not necessarily a detriment, but it's definitely not nearly as good if you just had more hand traps. Next up, we have 1 Ash Blossom, which you can get via the bundle pack, which I will show you guys after the video. I'll show you, well, at the end, I'll show you guys what the bundles and stuff at for these very specific cards. I will show you guys what that bundle is at the end. We still only want one of Evil Twin's Ki-sikil and leyyme, because again, this card just isn't good. It's really not good, and it's only really good for the effect that Sunny has, the Sun is the Great card. That's really all you got going for it. If you want to be niche, you can put more in there, maybe try to make something work, but I just don't recommend it. 1 Nibiru, if you don't want to create it, by all means, you can take it out. I'll show you guys what you can fill the last out with. For Geki, I believe you get this free via one of the story missions, I think? How do I think? Pretty sure this is free via one of the story missions. Yeah, you get it literally from just solo. So, 1 Monster Reborn, you also get this from solo. Signet Mining, you can get this if you buy one of the structure decks that's currently available right now, which is only I think 500 gems. You get a free one of these. What you can do with this card is literally just search any one of your trends. Well, the normal trends. You can literally search either one of your 2 starters. So in the event that you start out with this card in your hand, but you don't have a normal trend, you can just search it out. Once again, I will show you guys what the pack, or I guess in this case the structure deck, is for this card. Next up, 1 Lightning Storm, which you can get via the bundle pack. Let me quickly go over again why we're using these cards. We're using Geki just because it's, its own field removal. Not bad. It could also play out in the gate. We're using Monster Reborn because it just brings back a monster from either side of the field, which could be very useful, or either side of the graveyard, which could be very useful in those situations where you need to make something quick, rather that be a Ki-sikil, a leyyme. Maybe we need to make a XZ with one of their Max C's or something. There's a lot of situations you can do. Lightning Storm because, well, we don't have armies, so Lightning Storm's the next best thing. I don't personally like this card at all, but it's not a bad card. Still running 3 secret passwords for obvious reasons. Just being able to search out a spell or trap is really useful. Now, Life Trend Channel. This field spell. From when I used this card, it honestly wasn't that bad. The first effect, you're not using the first effect. This, when a monster declares an attack, you tribute 1 Ki-sikil monster or leyyme monster to negate the attack. You're not using this card for this effect. You're using this card primarily for the second effect. During the end phase, you can target 1 Ki-sikil monster or leyyme monster in your grave, shuffle into the deck. Or, if you control no monsters, which, if you have this card on the field and you don't have any, Ki-sikil leyyme monsters on the field either, most likely, this is what you're going to be using the effect for. You can add it to your hand instead. Meaning that you can almost always guarantee you'll have a starter in your hand thanks to this card. But you only got 1 If you want to run 2, you can. I don't recommend it, but you can. Next off, we have Sunny Snitch. 3 of, because this literally can give you one of your trends, which is why the field flow really isn't that great. But this can literally get you one of your trends from your deck to your hand. Really great. And each time your opponent summons, they lose 200 life points via discard. Well, assuming you have one of the evil trends out. 2 mystical space typhoons because it's just back row removal. Kind of want back row removal because you don't want to be stopped in your tracks via skill drain or something. 2 forbidden chalices because it's literally just a monster negate. Quick play as well can also help you maybe get over some monsters, like if they attack you for 3,500 monsters, you have Sunny out, you could just target your own Sunny to give him 400 to give her 400 more attack and get over it. Not bad. Forbidden droplet because you can get it from the bundle as well. 2 Torrential Tributes because it's just a normal trap that literally nukes the field. It's not bad. 2 compulsory evacuation devices because this is a non-destruction removal. So cards that say cannot be destroyed by card effects or cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, etc. Stuff like that. You can instead send it back to hand. Dimensional Prison. This is one of those cards you don't need. I like it because this is one of my preferred free-to-play cards that I was using for a while. And essentially, when your opponent declares an attack, you can banish it. You just say, fuck you, you're gone. This is better than obviously destruction removal because most cards have the effect of cannot be destroyed by battle, cannot be destroyed by card effects, but they don't really have a cannot be banished. This kind of gets around that. Stormy Mirror Force, similar to Dimensional Prison. This time Stormy Mirror Force returns all attack position monsters your opponent controls back to hand when they declare an attack. It's essentially an AoE compulsory evacuation device in a way. 1 Impum because you can get it via the bundle pack for free. Evil Trend Challenge, you have 1 of, but you could do 2 of if you took costs out or whatever. And 1 Judgment also because it's via the bundle. Now, let's do this, right? So, let's say you don't want to run Dimensional Prison or Stormy Mirror Force because you don't want to craft it, right? What you could do instead, you could just add in, a 3rd Evacuation, a 3rd Torrential Tribute, maybe a 2nd challenge if you're feeling kind of cheeky. You can do a 2nd challenge maybe. Another card you can add in if you really want to, I guess, is Draw a Greed, just so you can draw a card. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want, you know, do you. But I just wouldn't recommend adding it in, but you could. Now let's talk about the extra deck. The extra deck consists of the Zeus package, which you don't need this, right? But if this is like your budget deck, if this is like your free-to-play deck or whatever, you probably won't have to craft any of these cards because you most likely have all of these cards already. Same thing with the extra deck, you probably already have all of these cards. Only cards you might not have is, I think, Unicorn. I don't think Unicorn comes with anything, does it? Yeah, you gotta actually have Unicorn to get it, and obviously these guys. Everything else here you get just from opening the packs with trends / just playing the starter stuff. Like this is from one of the starter decks, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is literally from a starter deck. And so is this one. So let me explain first. You have your Sunny, your boss monster, pretty general. You have your 3 Ki-sikil and your 3 leyyme. Now, the added in cards, Rastaliger, he's kind of like a pseudo boss monster. He's kind of like a Axis Code Talker at home. Essentially what he does is when you link summon him, you can target 1 link monster in either graveyard, and this card will gain attack equal to that target's attack. You can also tribute monsters, a number of monsters that this card points to, which most likely will be 1, and you can destroy an equal number of cards on the field. Not bad. He's kind of like I say, he's kind of like a secondary boss monster, but This one is in here because he's a generic Link 3, and he's just a beater. 2600 Link 3. You know, it's fine. If you have what's his name, Decode Talker. If you have Decode Talker, you could replace him with Decode Talker instead, which I think you might have him from the starter deck. Yeah, you replace him with Decode Talker instead. The problem is he, in my opinion, isn't as good. only because he only has 2300 attack. You will need to obviously have a link 3 again, and you will need monsters in his arrow zones in order for you to use his effect, which basically is a free negate. But again, the problem is you probably won't be having 3 monsters on the field. Granted, it's only a 2+, so you can just have, like, if you just have both the trends, you can still make him. But I don't know. If you have both the trends out, you probably want to make Sun. But you know, he's there. If you want to use him over Gaia, Saber, the Lightning Shadow, by all means. Next but not least, we have the 4 cards you might not have. So, Unicorn is literally just a free bounce back. He's also a link 3, so, but essentially, I like having him in here just because he's a generic removal. This is another one of those things, like, I recommend you make it, because Unicorn can be used in most decks, and it's just super good. But if you want, you could just take him out. You don't need him. You can run without him. Next off, we have Sky Cavalry Centaur. He's a generic rank 2 monster. Only needs 2 level 2s. And essentially what he does is he cannot be destroyed by battle. And at the end of the turn when he attacks a monster, you can detach, well, at the end of the battle, you can attach one material from the card and return to the hand. You will not be using that effect. If you make him, all you're doing is attacking anything, and that's it. You don't care what you attack, you just want to attack it, don't use the effect, and go to main phase 2. In main phase 2, you would then special summon down the Magician. Because during your main phase 2, you can XC summon this card by using a rank 3 or lower monster you control as material. In this case, obviously, Centaur attacked, so that's your rank 2, and then you'll make her. At this point, she will have 5 materials. I mean, no, I can't math, I'm sorry. She'll have 3 materials. Then, you will go into Zeus. Because one of your XZ monsters attacked this turn, you could then special summon Zeus as a XZ summon by transferring the materials from down the Magician over to Zeus. And then he has 4 materials. What Zeus allows you to do is you can essentially detach 2 materials from this card, quick play, and you can send all other cards from the field to the graveyard. It's literally just a nuke. This is also non-targeted removal, so you can get around cards that's like, cannot be targeted by card effects, etc. This doesn't target, it just removes everything on the field. Also, which this effect rarely comes up, but once per turn, if another card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can attach 1 card from your hand, deck, or extra deck to this card's material. So in the event that, you know, stuff get destroyed on your side, you can just you can slowly rebuild Zeus, if you will. It's also important to note that his effect to nuke the field is not once per turn. He can do it as many times as you have materials. So keep that in mind. It's important because if you were to use Zeus effect and they say they impums you, right? Then you can just use it again so you'll still get the effect off. Important to note. But yeah, that's kind of it for this. This is the deck. It functions similar to the previous one. Like I said, the only real difference is that it's like significantly less hand traps. Less hand traps. It's a little bit slower because like this field spell is kind of slow, but this is kind of the move, you know. This is kind of the move. All right, now let's quickly show you guys what these cards are. Now let's move on over to the shop. All right, so in the shop menu here, you will go to the structure deck, and you will go to the Bunning Spirits. I think it is. It's Bunny Spirits, right? Yeah, I think it's Bunny Spirits. You go to the Bunny Spirits deck, and in it, you will see that you can get a Sign It Mining. So you just spend 500 gems here, and you will get a free Sign It Mining. That's where you'll get your Sign It from. Next, we move over to Special, go down to Bundle Deal, and we can see everything else. There's your free Forbidden Droplet, which I don't remember how much this stuff costs. Does it tell me? No, it doesn't tell me how much it costs, but you can only get 1 per account, so you know, just buy all of them. These are all really good cards. You buy 1 Forbidden Droplet, you get your Impum, you get some Solemn Judgment, you get your Lightning Storm, and you get your Ash Blossom. If you want to know an order to this, if you are really budget and you don't have enough to buy all of this, I would recommend getting, well, first off, I recommend not even buying this. Don't get this. I would recommend getting probably Impum. No. Ash Blossom first, Judgment probably second, Impum, Droplet, and then Lightning Storm. You can also, if you want, you can still get this one for sign-in mining, but also because this is a really good deal. It's essentially you get 40 cards for only 500 gems. Like, that's a pretty good deal when you look at it like that. Salaman, this deck is also not bad either. I can't tell you how to play it because I haven't played this deck myself yet, but I know this deck is pretty good, well, from what I hear. So yeah, that is it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.